Hi everyone. Long time no see. I don't know if I still get my subscribers back once I deactivated my channel for a little bit. So I'm coming back with plants. That's so odd. But so today I can be more specific about the date. I got a cutting of a Monstera Deliciosa, like those big leaves with like the cuts inside, and I brought it home and I was like, I want a Monstera. So I have a lot of other plants and I'm planning on doing a video later about like houseplant tour, whatever, the plant galleys. I don't know why I'm so awkward. I feel like I haven't done this in a long time. The plant galleys are doing right now. And the only reason I'm not doing that as my first video, because with the sun, I'm in Boston right now for school and just for the summer and like internships and everything. The sun shifted. Boston is still feeling spring weather. It's barely summer. It was like sweatpants weather the other day, like the other week. Like it was kind of ridiculous. So with the lights changing, I have to move my plants around because I cut some cuttings of my Monstera Deliciosa. Actually no, my friend's Monstera Deliciosa, and I left it in the same place I had left it a couple weeks ago, and some of the edges crisped. So I just need to move things around. And I did not have a big enough container for the Monstera leaves, and this was like kindly gifted to me by someone a little bit older than me who I stayed and sublet at her place for a couple weeks last summer. And here's what the roots are looking like. And so I'm gonna pot it up in the living room because I feel like the leaves are long. I mean, the roots are long enough. There's like two like long one about the same size, like a medium one, and a bunch of little tiny ones. And so I originally put it in a like cut up fruit bowl and was using yarn and rope and twine, whatever. It's been on this window, and I think it's an east facing window that I have, and it's been here for like that amount of time. So I'm gonna go to the living room. I'm in my room right now, and then I'm gonna pot it up. So I'm in the living room and I have plants, and I have this little like set up perlite store brand potting mix bucket pot that's a little kind of dirty, but it's fine. And then Monstera. So I don't have the stuff the girlies on all the YouTube channels have. I just have perlite and potting mix, and I made the investment. I think everyone should make the investment to just buying perlite. I don't think it is that expensive, because it really helps. Like some of like this tree I got for free. Since I'm in Boston, there's a lot of free like opportunities here because it's a big city. And then this is my friend's pothos, but I have a whole lot of plants like behind you guys, and I usually just sit here and do it. But I remember potting this in just regular potting mix, and it's fine because like this tree is kind of hardy. But for my smaller plants, or when I just got into plants and I didn't know like what to do, like fungus gnats, like, you know, like the perlite helps bring some air into the soil, like the potting soil, so that you have like less chances of fungus gnats. And also with fungus gnats that I started doing once summer started, I started bottom watering. That's why I have this bucket. This is my bottom watering bucket, and I have like another one where I store all this stuff in. I store the soil in a like container like this underneath the TV. I don't know if you can see like a little bit of it, just so like a little bit more protection against like the outside sources, and just like air protection as well. And I got all these buckets for free, by the way, too, with people moving out of housing at the end of the semester. A year ago today, like today is June 8th, I had 0 plants. Now I'm taking care of like 50 plus plants and like propagations too as well. And I didn't just start with 50. I started with one tiny like Chinese money plant, the Pilea peperomioides. My friend had a bigger version and gave me one of its babies. I started with that, and then I got this plant as well as like a satin pothos for like the Scindapsus on the side of the street for free during like Austin Christmas. And I don't really know how much perlite I use. I don't really measure it, and I don't use a mask either because I just don't put my nose like straight up to the perlite. And so I want this one kind of chunky because I don't want, it might be 3 weeks now that I have this plant, or I have it propagating in water. So hopefully like the transition is smooth. It grew the like roots really fast. It's totally fine because I don't have any other like, as they say, amendments. No, it's perfect. And I'm not really like, I can be all messy in here. Like I already have dirt all in the bucket, which is great. And so I just filled this like, this is honestly what the satin pothos, Scindapsus, whatever, came in originally. And it has no drainage. It's like, I don't know what this material is. No drainage holes. And if any like newbie is watching, like newer than me, you need drainage holes because like water needs to go somewhere, like in natural environments, like outside in nature. Like the water from underground leads to like, you know, the water cycle. So I'm filling this, I don't know how many inches this is. I could use my fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, a 5-inch pot. I don't have any extra, so this plastic one, that's why I really wanted the perlite to be a lot. So you can see we have this one. And so since it's just coming from water, from all the YouTube videos I've watched, make sure the soil stays moist for the first couple weeks. And I'm trying to show you guys just what I'm doing. But this green new growth point, it hasn't really done much, but I'm not gonna cover that completely. And you see, I also wanted to pot it because it looked a little rotty there, and I didn't want it to stay in water too long and for me to lose this free plant that I got. Like initial 3 plants I had. I also got a snake plant for free. Someone was moving out during Austin Christmas, which is just a thing. I don't know if I explained that. We have here in Boston, and we used to have a hardware store by where I live that would also give away free cuttings, so I got some cuttings from there. I would say at the very beginning of the school year in the fall, see, with this I still make a mess on the carpet. I have to clean up still, but it's way less than I could have. I'm just adding a little bit more so I bought a couple plants, but they were really baby versions. I think I spent like $3 each on a plant, and then there was one plant where I spent like $25 because it was my rubber tree. I think I've paid for like less than 10 plants, and I have over 50. So like, what's the math to that? I've only paid for 20% of my plants, and then 80% of my plants are free. I'm also using this chopstick. I learned that from like my friend, as well as like just YouTubers. So you want to put the cutting, that's what they call these, in a deep enough that it can balance from the soil, but not too deep enough that like it's like buried underneath. And then you also want like the new growth, which was that thing I was talking about, to be visible and all the roots for sure covered. They always say shimmy the soil so that any air pockets or anything like that is gone. Some people pre-moisten their soil. I don't. This is actually the perfect amount. And I'm just gonna kind of pat it down here. I might use like this wooden stick to prop it up so that it has like the best chance of it staying. And whenever you see anything dead on your plants, I would just recommend cutting it, because like, think about it, like, do you want something dead touching something that's alive? No. So these came with like a kit that I got for my plant stand. Perlite is way cheaper, and you can also propagate with perlite too, which I'm also testing out. So to just help it stand up, I'm using these. They also have like Velcro ones on Amazon, but since I had these and they came free with the plant, you also have to make sure when you're putting these sticks into the soil, you're not like knocking the new root that just formed. And so since these aren't, I should have cut it, but it's okay. Since these aren't like Velcro or soft for the plant, because sometimes that's why the people do, like other people do the Velcro ones, I just loosely tie it on. So it's not supposed to really like attach onto anything. It's just really more of that like picker upper. And so it's really exciting that I finally got a chance to do this video. I thought this would be a simpler one than a whole like plant tour. And with the plant tour too, I didn't know if I wanted to just leave the plants where they are and walk around and talk about them, or just like point them out, or to bring them all into the living room on like a watering day or something, because I do all my plant activities here. And then talk about it that way. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. I really want to get into YouTube again this summer, because like I like videoing things and I just like seeing myself, you know. But this is all. I have an internship in Boston, and I like just do a lot of other things, like side hustles, and I really like plants. It's a weird kind of funny that I'm into wrapping this around. I just wanted to really balance. So for that like tree behind me, the ponytail palm, it was potted up sideways when I first got it. And so even when I repotted it, I didn't like break apart the soil or nothing. I just wanted a new pot that was prettier. And so it was still sideways, and it was always facing, how do I want this? It was always on the floor. Okay. Just trying to make sure the roots aren't being demolished by me. So it was always on the floor, which was totally fine. In Boston winters, it's really dark, so legit all my plants were next to my east facing window, because I think south facing is the one that gets the most light. I don't know, I don't have south facing windows, and I don't really know the windows I'll have in my next apartment either. So I just kind of see how my plants react. Always pay attention to your plants. If they one day just change how they're looking, like they get worse or better, if they get worse, something must be happening. So you have to be like, okay, like, did I water it? Did I water it too much? Like, did the sun change? Did the season recently change? Or like, just pay attention to them. They basically tell you what's going on. Are bugs on there? That's something like I'm really scared about because I hate bugs. And so I just bring this bucket, this like huge one, to the shower. And one thing is, you're not supposed to let your plants sit in water for too long. So that's why I only let it sit for that the past like couple of minutes, just to get that like absorption. And I'm gonna put the plant in the same place that I grabbed it from in my room, so that all the conditions are the same for the plant, except for now that it's in soil, just so that it can get used to its new environment. That's something I've been thinking. Recently. And overwatering your plant doesn't mean like drain it a lot with a lot of water. It means continually watering your plant when it's not dry. And that also just is like an invitation for bugs. And so I try to just not bring bugs into my home, because I also live here too. So these jugs, like these aren't apple juice jugs, they are distilled water jugs, because for the calathea that I have, so I'm like so sporadic too as well. For the calathea that I have, I was watering all my plants with regular water, and then I saw that it would get brown spots on it, and I'll talk more about that, but I switched to distilled water, which helped a lot. And I just saved the jugs and I fill them up with regular tap water and let it sit for days before I use it to water my plants. And that way, like, it reduces whatever is in the Boston like water thing. Some people just fill it with like their tap water, and I do too, but also saving it in jugs kills two birds with one stone, because like that way I don't have to fill my watering jug that I got from Goodwill. So it's all like easy peasy lemon squeezy, you know. I'll be right back and I'll show you the final results. So it fits. So the leaves are kind of like tatted up, but it's okay. Like, it's okay. Like, she'll grow new ones that are better. This is the dirty water. So I'm gonna clean up. I'm gonna make some shifts around. I'm gonna make some shifts, and then I'll be back, show you the final saucer, and get on with my day, because I got a lot to do. I'm a busy gal. So I'm just wrapping up this video. It's right here. We're back in my room. So I cleaned up the bucket and I just poured some water on it and rinsed it down, the water down the drain. But I did put a drain stopper just to collect like dirt or any loose perlite, because I think the perlite is not good for the environment. I heard that from somewhere. And just stuff going down your drain doesn't sound like a good idea, at least for your own stress. A student-friendly plant care. Student-friendly plant care, yes. I mostly get light in the morning, and also my apartment building is smaller than apartments around me. So there are moments where like I'm blocked from the sun, and the place that I'm moving to next year, I think it's also, who knows, it's a window, and I'm gonna try to make sure my plants live. And just a lot of these plants, like by that time they should be tolerant, or I'll just, that's where the investment will come in a lot later, when they are more tolerant of things. And it's not going to be too much of like a money investment. It's just going to be little like tiny things that like I find that are affordable, or if anyone is donating anything in my area, like I'll look out for those too. Facebook group chats are always the best bet. But thank you guys for watching my thank you guys for watching my YouTube video. Feel free to subscribe, and I hope my mood wasn't too like down. Like I just took a little like quiz, and I've just had a long, did I have a long day? I just did a lot today. So I did a lot in the morning, organizing stuff, not here, but somewhere. And I'm gonna do more tonight as like looking through, maybe starting my MCAT biochemistry book. Like I kind of already put my schedule in on my calendar, signed up for the website, fee reducing stuff. Like I'm still in that pre-med journey. I don't know if any of you remember that. I'll try to also make my other videos. See, I'm just looking at a plant now, just making sure dirt is not like a bug. Like that's a no-no. We want peace and tranquility. So I'm still pre-med, still doing all that stuff. My internship is like health related. It's really cool. I'd love to talk about it after like it's over with, so I have like a whole comprehensive like review of it, and then it's like a surprise, this is what I did all summer type of thing. And I might post some, I have to post some deliverable videos, so I might post that on here, so that'll be cool and interesting too. Trying to just combine my life to something that's fun. The plants have just been like a little like a hobby for me to do, especially since Boston has such cold winters, and so I'm from Nigeria and from the south. Like it's cold outside. You see this? It's so cold outside. So the plants were cool and it was something fun to do. I got to learn about just like plants. This is a really long video for just potting up a Monstera. I'm gonna end it. Bye. Deuces. Ciao. Hugs and kisses from Precious.